Hello everyone and welcome to Armored Core Verde once again. Today I present to you the wonderful masterpiece that is this hilarious HRJ. In case you can't tell, this HRJ was originally intended to be a joke build, but because of the sheer ridiculous absurd number of hits that it lands, it still kills things. So yeah. It's fun to play and it's hilarious to watch in action. And it works out because of reasons. So, in case you can't tell, I've got two giant Gatling guns mounted on the front of this thing, two piles mounted on the back, and then I've got double slot arms. And what I have on the double slot arms is missiles. So I can just spam missiles and Gatling guns everywhere, and then if that all fails, then I can just pull out the piles and kill someone with that. And the core, head, and legs are mostly chosen for style purposes than anything else. Well, I could very easily switch out the legs, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a bit. So, Gatling guns. I got these tuned for full power because that gives them the most range, and that means they hit the hardest. That's basically about it. I mean, you can go with mixed power and accuracy tunings to get slightly more improved muzzle velocity, but it reduces the range. And when you want to spam these, you kind of want the range to be a little bit consistent, because otherwise, or more or less because. Otherwise, you'll be hitting at the full range, but they'll be doing significantly reduced damage compared to the power tune, which reduces your DPS overall. Also, I named this AC Dakka per second because there's never enough Dakka, and also I named it Dakka per second because it's kind of a joke on DPS, which is damage per second. But yeah, this is my DPS spot, in case you can't tell. Missiles, I chose these because they hit fairly hard, and they have a lot of ammo, and they're pretty accurate, and they lock on quickly. Basically because they're easy to spam. I could easily use pretty much any other missile, but for the full Dakka effect I went for these, because they kind of swarm. They're fun to use that way. These I could pick for full power because they kill stuff. That's basically about it. Now, like I said, the frame parts are mostly just kind of preference. They give me decent KE defense and almost okay CE defense, but I mostly chose them because, or really just because they look cool. They really fit the style of the mech. I should probably repaint this mech eventually, but I do like the way it looks. I do feel like the colors are a bit muted, but whatever. Anyway, good thing about the HF227 head is that it's really balanced. It does everything. Malicious core, it looks really cool, and it also has fairly high defenses for its weight. And with the HRJs, the turning is important, so I chose some fairly lightweight core. I could easily have gone for like this core though. It would reduce the turning a little bit, but it would also give me better defenses and health. But it doesn't look as good, so I didn't go for that. Arms, I picked these because they're double slot and they have high firing stability. I could easily go for, say, these. But the firing stability drops and it also reduces the turning performance. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah. Yes, for the legs, I could easily build like a bulkier version and switch them out for one of the retrofit or upgraded versions. Or I could switch it out for the Dakka 2, which is significantly faster and lighter, but has worse defenses. Which wouldn't be a terrible idea, but it would also cut my turning performance in half. But, I could make that work. Now, FCS, I chose this because it goes with missiles and because Gatling guns lock on super fast anyway, so there's not really any other reason. There's not really any other FCS that works better with Gatling guns than missiles. I mean, Gatling guns just lock on really quickly. And this wide lock with the long range helps. Generator, I chose that because I like it. This booster I also chose kind of just because I like it. It's because mainly because it's a lot lighter than this one. So the reduced weight helps with a lot with the turning. Well, it's not that big of a deal. I more chose it just because I like the way it fits with the playstyle and because I can. Now, as for alternate weapons, well, since this is a spam silly bot, you could easily go for pretty much any other spammy weapon. You can go for spammy shotguns, you can go for spammy rifles. In fact, spammy rifles might be a better idea, but they don't look as cool as two Gatling guns. There's the spammy heat howitzers, which are really fun. These right here, this little short barrel one, and also this one that's a little bit longer. Those are very spammy. They run out of ammo very quickly, and if I run out of ammo, I can't really shoot anymore. So yeah. I could also go with one of the spammy battle rifles, but those don't hit very often, and it's not as spammy. Heat machine guns would work really well, but they don't look as cool. So yeah, can't do that. I mean, I could easily go for any of the heat machine guns really, but they don't look right. for the style of AC I'm trying to build here. Pulse machine guns, again, they would work just fine, but they don't look right. As for other stuff, I could probably mount an autocannon on this for the lulz, but I don't think that would work out very well at all. Just same for all the other types of cannons. Shields would also work really well, but it doesn't fit the theme, so I can't use it. But this is a very silly build, in case you can't tell. As for other alternate shoulders, pretty much any missile that shoots a lot of missiles, I would use. AS missiles would work because they're spammy, but the problem with AS missiles is they're very short range. So, that would end up with a lot of wasted missiles. I'd probably go through these a lot faster if not killing as many people. I could use medium missiles, but they have no ammo. Not as spammy. They're also very heavy. I could go for one of these stealth missiles, but I don't know. I might want to try those sometime. Just because they have more ammo and more damage. They generally have supposedly better stats, but they have reduced missile guidance, which means that they're not going to hit very often. I can also go for one of the other short-range missiles, like this one that does more damage. But these are far less accurate and they have much less range. Also, the lock-on's slightly slower, but that's not really a big deal. I might try them out. Because they still have the same... No, they have reduced max locks. I can't use it. Can't use it if I can't fire 12 missiles at the same time. These also have 4 max locks, which is kind of disappointing. But, yeah. KE missiles would also work. There's not really... KE missiles are far less spammy. I mean, the vertical missile is pretty spammy, but it's not quite as spammy as the CE missiles. VTF missiles are spammy, but they're not as spammy. What else can I think of? Is there any other thing that's relatively spammy? I mean, there's high-speed missiles, which are pretty spammy, but they're long range. Spread missiles are always fun. If you like spread missiles, they're actually really fun to use, just because you just fire like a shotgun blast of missiles. And as for TE missiles, I know there's one missile here that's spammy. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one fires 6. So I could use the spammy TE missile if I wanted to. Don't know how well it would work, but I could. It weighs less and it has far less ammo though. That could be an issue. Rocket launchers would work really well. Flash rockets, maybe not so much, but heat rockets and regular rockets would be fun for spamming the shit out of someone. Flash rockets would be cool, but they wouldn't really do anything useful. This is not for an AC that's kind of this bulky. Not so much bulky, but like awkward to move around in. There we go. Bomb dispensers are hilariously spammy, but you have to be really close to hit with them. I would probably use them, but I don't know how to actually use them effectively. On Unix, though, they're amazing. I will say that. Chaff is purposeless. CIWS does not fit the theme of the build. Does not fit the theme. I can't use it. Auto attack guns would fit the theme of the build, but they don't look as cool as missiles. However, I could easily substitute these for. I could easily substitute the missiles for these. The missiles also help because they break KE shields, which actually helps make the build slightly viable. Reserve magazine would fit the theme of the build, but there's a certain point where I have too much Gatling gun ammo and I just can't make it work. Subcomputers do not fit the theme of the build. Energy amps don't even work right now. Like not with any of these weapons at least. UAV would fit the theme of the build being silly, but they're kind of really hard to use. So yeah, I can't really get away with that. Now, as for alternate parts, like I said, there's this Dakka 2. I could use any of the Dakka 1 models, which have slightly better defenses, but they're they're not bad. I could make it work. I could definitely make it work, but I don't know if I want to. Especially if it has much turning as I have to lose. Although Dakka 2 is definitely viable just because of how much speed it has. But whatever, I feel like let's go kill some of the test ACs. I don't really have any PvP footage because I've been busy with Bloodborne lately and streams, so I haven't gotten too many chances to record Verdict Day. But I will record it if I get a chance to. So I feel like fighting a eunuch, so let's fight another eunuch that's just as spammy. Let's fight my ultimate bulky eunuch. The ultimate bulk. I'm gonna do this just because I can, because it's fun. Yeah, I didn't even check what time it was when I started recording. I'm never gonna know how long the recording's gonna be until after I record it, and then I have to edit it all together. But whatever. Also, since this AC is built around spamming, I kind of went for the high consumption booster. Hey, how you doing? Goddamn! He spams just as hard as I do. Eat missiles! I never thought this would be so amazing. Oh, I think he's winning. Oh, I thought this was ACFA for a second. I was gonna do a quick turn. I think it was fun. All of the missiles, eat them. They are delicious. I will eventually kill you. Actually, I think I'm winning. Yes, I am winning. It's because I have shoulder missiles. I have shoulder slot missiles, and he doesn't. So yeah, I'm winning. Look at my health. Look at my health. Look at his. Mine's at like 20,000. His is like significantly lower. Maybe I should change out his Gatling guns for power. Because that's supposed to be a really bulky UNAC, and I'm winning by spamming. I'm out spamming the spammy UNAC. Eat shit. I win! It's completely based on skill. Yeah, I have a tendency on when I'm playing this AC to basically spam the Gatling guns as long as I can, because it's fun. And then when I'm kind of low on health, that's when I purge the Gatling guns and I switch over to the heat piles. That way I can get maybe 1 or 2 kills in. Basically, this is a super gimmicky build. It only works because I kind of force it to work, and I usually don't use it in super serious matches anyway. But, yeah. Because if I were to fight, say, this quad over here that has laser rifles, I would probably lose every time. But you never know. Let's fight a tank. I want to fight a tank. Fight the cannon tank, because that one's actually one of the most dangerous UNEX I've ever made. I should build more UNEX. I can start doing UNEX on this channel, too. That could be fun. I can even talk about my UNEX. Alright. Hello. How are you doing, Mr. Tank? Ow. You don't like me. Damn it. Tried to go for the kick, I missed. Tank, what are you doing? Ow. I kicked the fuel tank and I exploded it on myself. Also, I find it kind of hilarious that this entire area is covered in or it's very clearly deteriorated, and yet somehow it has grass, whereas in the previous game it didn't. Ow. But anyway, the only reason that this build works is because Gatling guns kind of do enough damage to, they do enough damage that they hurt most things anyway. Ow. And the spam missiles help with the damage too. Ow. Stop hitting me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ow. I think I ran out of ammo. Ow. Let's not die. So let's talk about the thing that I normally do when I get low on health. Purge the gats. Now I can move a little bit faster. And we switch to a piler mode. Heavy reverse jump piler mode because of the reasons. Alright, where the hell are you? There you are. Also, this is a really bad piler for open areas just because I need the I need a bit of cover to restore some energy. And there, I got him. That was actually kind of cool. That felt good. But yeah. I built this AC for fun, and it is fun. That's basically the only real purpose behind it, to be completely honest. I can talk about it for a little bit, talk about different matches I've had with it. Mostly, whenever I bring it out, people just kind of take a lot of damage, but if they're any decent at all, then they usually don't have any issues fighting me bleh. I can talk, I swear. So then, let's talk about Gatling guns as a whole, because they're pretty cool to have around. How about alternate Gatling guns? I picked these mostly because they look cool and they have tons and tons and tons and tons of ammo. Also because they have some of the better DPS out of Gatling guns because they have a combination of decent attack and a really fast reload. So these Gatling guns have the same reload but less damage, less range. They weigh a lot less to compensate for it, but the other ones have slightly better DPS, and so they're more useful. Also, the 600 ammo can run out eventually. 3,500 ammo, you're not gonna run out of ammo no matter how hard you try. Like that just doesn't happen. Like you can literally like stand there for like 10 minutes holding triggers, and you probably still won't run out of ammo. And what else? This is another like kind of option because it looks cool, but it has a really slow fire rate for the. It also has a really slow fire rate and really low damage, which is the only thing I don't like about it. Not damage, really low range. There, the optimal range of 70 is really terrible, and that basically means that you have to be like in shotgun range to do anything with them. At that point, you might as well be using rifles. In fact, most of the time when you're using Gatling guns, you could easily be using rifles and get about the same effect. These are pretty useful, but I think they have like a really bad muzzle velocity. The muzzle velocity is actually pretty decent. These are a pretty decent option if you want like Gatling guns and want to spam them. They do decent damage. They have a really fast reload. They probably have slightly better DPS because it's improved reload, and they have decent ammo. Now, these are the ones I wanted to talk about. So these have really good DPS for how light they are. The only problem with them is that they have very little ammo. 300 ammo is not a lot. Like the one with 600 ammo will probably run out eventually, or run out fairly quickly. This one was more of like a pistol. Like you treat it as like a throwaway weapon that you kind of just keep around just for the fun of because it's really light. So that's why it's a throwaway weapon. It does good damage while it lasts, but once it's gone, or once it runs out of ammo, you're screwed. There's a lot of really good builds that use a magazine, or they use the magazines on the shoulders to increase the ammo capacity on this thing to help it kill stuff. Because 300 shots, while it's not like a lot of ammo, it can still do some pretty decent damage. And if you increase that to like 500 or 700, then you can probably get some pretty good kills with this thing, because I think they're really accurate too. Yeah, they have improved muzzle velocity and really good lock-on time. Now, this is the coal on the Kestrel, I think, right? Oh, no, I tuned that one for rapid fire for some reason. Okay, so this is the coal. So the coal on the Kestrel. The coal does more damage but has even less ammo than the Kestrel. I think the Kestrel has like... I think the coal has better DPS, but the Kestrel has more ammo. And the coal is also significantly lighter. So this is like straight up like pistol right here. It's really interesting and really weird. It has reduced muzzle velocity compared to the other one, but it's more accurate, I think. Yeah, it has a really high fire and accuracy rating, whereas this one has 91. So they're both really accurate. Gatling guns as a whole are really accurate. They're hard to dodge, at least consistently. If we were to talk about the Generation 1 version of this Gatling gun, which would be, I think, yeah, this one right here. So it has less ammo, and I think it has... then I can speak. I'm going to equip a different tuning just so I can compare the tunings. 2 power 1 accuracy. Alright. So 2 power 1 accuracy. So the first generation version of it does more damage, but has a significantly slower firing rate and less range and less ammo. The less range isn't really as much of a deal as the difference in fire speed, or yeah, firing speed. Basically, just because it means that overall you're gonna be doing less damage. So the second generation version, with its improved muzzle velocity and increased damage, or not increased damage, but increased damage per second, is generally gonna be better as long as you can afford the weight. And you can use pretty much any mix of power and accuracy tuning, but I went for full power on these because full Dakka. Now, as for pile drivers, if you really want to go full retard, and you just want to punch some people in the face all day, like you don't even want to stop punching them ever, then you use these. Because with these, you'll never kill anyone. Ever. You can't kill anyone with these. You just keep punching them and they don't die. So if you like punching people, but you don't want to be violent, then you can use these. Same for these first generation versions of them. I think they have less ammo. They look really cool though. Like I wish they were good because they look stylish as shit, but they're not exactly good. A more realistic option would be these. They do less damage, but they compensate for it by having really high ammo capacity. And so if you're good at hitting stuff with them, then these can be useful. Alternatively, if you're really bad at hitting stuff with them and you need more shots, then these can also be useful. They're basically the same as these over here, but they're a little bit heavier and have more ammo. They're kind of better overall. Like, basically, you have two realistic choices for piles. You have the one that one-shots someone and the one that doesn't one-shot someone but has more ammo. That's your two options. Meanwhile, this one is super light, but it's not as good. Same for these. Now, as for other melee weapons, Murakumos, they do kind of work, but They're slightly harder to use on this AC than on the others because they're based on your movement speed. So if you're moving very quickly, then it doesn't work as well. I could use these, but I don't want to. Now, laser blades would actually work really well, but they don't fit the Dakka type of mentality, so I don't quite use them really. But they do work really well, especially like some of these are like, yeah, this one right here is really easy to use. I kind of want to build more ACs that use laser blades because I just don't use them very often. They're really fun though, especially just like seeing like plasma splash everywhere. They're really fun. I could also use the pizza cutter blades. No, pizza cutter blades. Pizza cutter blades are really good, but they're short. But yeah, lots of cool blades. I like using blades. They're really fun, especially in Verdict Day. They were interesting in other games, but I really liked them a lot in Verdict Day because they have more of like a blading playstyle, I guess. Speaking of which, if you ever want to play with me, let me know. I'll play. I can't play on the Xbox server because I don't have an Xbox Live account, but I don't have an Xbox Live Gold account, but I do have the game. So if I do get a Gold account, then I can play with anyone on the Xbox server. Especially since I have unlocked the entire shop, so I should be able to build pretty much any AC that I want. So then, I hope you enjoyed my short little video about my Dakka per second build, because I like the Dakka. It's fun to play, and I hope you have a good time. Have a good day, play Armored Core, and blow the shit out of everything, because honestly that's what you do when you got giant mechs. You blow stuff up. You either blow it up with a million tiny bullets like the Gatling guns, or you can do it all in one shot like the piles, or you can do it with a bunch of kind of like medium sort of missiles, like sort of like middle-ish damage missiles. Whatever, just blow shit out of everything. Have a good day.